Hi everybody, welcome to my homestead and welcome to my channel. In this video, I just want to do a fun video, just kind of analyzing this song by Adele, Skyfall, which was made for the movie Skyfall back in 2012. Um, so if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video. If you end up liking it, hit the notification bell and leave your comments. So basically what happened was I have YouTube Music. I pay for that. That's where I get my music from. And I was listening to the radio on it, and an Adele song came up, and it reminded me how I wanted to listen to the song Skyfall, but back the last time I wanted to listen to it was like all the way back in 2012. And at the time, it was exclusively on iTunes, I think, and I didn't have iTunes. So it wasn't until now, 2021, that I listened to it again. But I'm glad that I did, and it's funny that it's happening right now as I'm making a YouTube channel that's about the second coming and following the signs of the times, because it seems to me like this song and even the movie is about the second coming, and it's actually for several reasons. For one, I compared the lyrics to Luke 21, and it kind of like matches up with that. But number two, the theme of the movie, there's been other people that have analyzed it, and there's a lot of like Christian symbolism that's in it. And you can go to like sites like this. I'll put this in the description below if you want to read through this. I'm not going to like go through it, but others have seen a lot of like resurrection themes in it, and things that have to do with Christianity. And it's not really too surprising, because for whatever reason, it seems like the powers that be and the adversary, they like to put this kind of stuff in movies and entertainment. And I don't know what the purpose is exactly. Sometimes I think it's maybe just mockery. Sometimes I think it's to kind of like confuse people about these kind of topics, and take control of the narrative. uh, you know kind of sway your opinion about how you think of these kind of things. So there might be multiple reasons why they do it. But to me, I feel like it was pretty clear in this song, and I'm going to show it to you right now. Again, this is just for fun. Just take it with a grain of salt, but you might be kind of entertained by this. Okay, so again, first we're going to read Luke chapter 21. Jesus foretells the destruction of the temple and of Jerusalem. He tells of the signs to precede his second coming and gives the parable of the fig tree. Okay. So up here, it's in verse 11, it says, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven." Okay. Now, remember, the name of the song and the movie is Skyfall. So it has everything to do, as far as the name goes anyway, has everything to do with the heavens falling, right? Okay. Now this is really where the bulk of the song, I really think that they took the inspiration from this. Now, you can go here and this will like say, oh, this is what the song is about. It corresponds with what happens in the movie, and that's true. But I think what happens in the movie corresponds with the second coming. So this is the kind of surface level interpretation of the song. Okay, so back to Luke 21, skipping down to verse 25. "And there shall be signs in the sun, and in the moon, and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, and the seas and the waves roaring." Okay, so it's talking about the ocean, the sea, the waves, the water, which kill people, right? Verse 26, "Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken." There's that, sky heaven imagery again. And right after that, "And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. And when these things shall begin to come to pass, then look up and lift your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh." And then down in 33 it says, "Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my words shall not pass away." So just kind of take in this imagery. Seeing waves roaring, men's hearts failing them, the Son of Man coming down out of the sky. And also over here in Matthew 24, I think there's even more that they took from the scriptures. So 24 verse 48, it says, "But and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming." And there's a footnote there that takes you to D&C 45:26, and that says, "And in that day shall be heard of wars and rumors of wars, and the whole earth shall be in commotion, and men's hearts shall fail them, and they shall say that Christ delayeth his coming until the end of the earth." So all the way until it actually happens, there's going to be people that say that Christ delayeth his coming. And excuse me, sadly, yeah, I do think that that's the case. Um, I think that that's the case with some people in the church, frankly. I hate to say that, but that's what it seems to me. So, okay, so all this in mind, let's read through the lyrics now of this song. Okay, it's so fitting. This is the end, right? Now, keep in mind, I think that if I'm right about this, if they kind of like base the movie on the second coming, this I believe is being sung from the point of view of a wicked person, someone that has been deceived by Satan, someone that has maybe been promised security by Satan, because I really do think that Satan has um, followers, in this life, followers from the mortal world. He's probably promised them things, promised them that if they do certain things, then maybe they'll have positions of power after this life, or whatever. He's the father of all lies, right? So it doesn't matter what he said. It's not like it's going to happen, but he could have lied to a lot of people. So just okay. So let's get back to it. So this is the end. We know that the second coming is the end of the world for the wicked. This is the end. Hold your breath and count to 10. Feel the earth move, and then. So, first we have the earth moving, right? Kind of imagery of like, it makes you kind of think of an earthquake, or it does for me. Feel the earth move, and then hear my heart burst again. Now, again, I'm no expert, but I'm pretty sure that if your heart bursts, then it fails you. Okay? I don't think it's going to continue functioning after it bursts. So we have an earthquake, we have a heart bursting. For this is the end. I've drowned, right? I've drowned. And okay, and dreamt this moment, so overdue, right? Because some will say that the Lord delayeth his coming. So overdue, because they were expecting it sooner. If it was going to happen, they thought it would happen sooner. I owe them, swept away, by water, by roaring waves. I'm stolen. Let the sky fall. Let the sky fall. This is an image of basically the sky falling. People coming from the sky. There's probably also going to be some of this going on, right? Possibly. I guess we'll see. But let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. Isn't that totally the attitude of someone that's wicked? That when judgment's coming upon them, they don't think that they've done anything wrong, or maybe they know it deep down inside, but they're still going to be prideful, and they're going to stand tall and face it. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together at Skyfall. At Skyfall. Skyfall is where we start. Okay. Skyfall is where we start. Now, I don't know. You may think that it's a stretch. It's unclear to me, um, what the followers of Satan believe, or if they know what we know, that we come from the pre-existence. We're not the only ones that believe that there was life before this life. Within Christianity, yes, but I even kind of like, I'm starting to hear a lot of people kind of like almost accept this idea. They're not adhering strictly to their previous, denominations that they belong to. Like, I feel like this idea is kind of becoming more accepted, just from all the different people that I've listened to. But anyway, Skyfall is where we began. Um, sorry, Skyfall is where we start. 1,000 miles and poles apart, where worlds collide and days are dark. And that makes me think. Sorry, I should have had this in order better. I had a picture for that. Yeah, Satan being cast out, right? Worlds apart, 1,000 miles apart. Skyfall is where we start, 1,000 miles and poles apart, where worlds collide and days are dark. Because worlds definitely collided in the pre-existence when you had the two plans that were presented, um, and there was a falling out. Um, you may have my number, you can take my name, but you'll never have my heart. Again, it's more of that kind of wicked point of view, like, yeah, God, you can have my number, you can write my name in the book of death, you can take my name, but you know what? I've chosen my path. You're never going to have my heart. So let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall. When it crumbles, we will stand tall, face it all together. And now I could be wrong, but I feel like this part would be like singing to, to the adversary, to Satan. Where you go, I go. What you see, I see. Did you know that there are actually, um, I guess, I guess you could say religions, or you could say kind of like schools of thought that they believe that the roles are actually reversed, that like God is bad and Satan is good, because they'll read the scriptures and be like, oh, see, Satan wanted to help us. He wanted to give us knowledge, and God wanted to, just keep man dumb and keep him in the Garden of Eden. I'm not going to go too far into that. There's like a lot more to it because I've studied a lot of it, but um, yeah, I don't want to go too far into that. But so it's like if you're of that point of view, it's like what you see, I see. Like, I see that this whole plan is bad, that God's bad. I see that you're actually the good one. I know I'd never be me without the security of your loving arms, keeping me from harm. Put your hand in my hand, and we'll stand. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together. Let the sky fall when it crumbles. We will stand tall, face it all together at skyfall. And then it ends with like this last part here. In it's like if you're familiar with James Bond, um, it follows like a special like it has like at the beginning of each movie there's like the main song for the movie, always sung by like a female singer, and then it does like this little kind of like intro music video for every single one. It's like it's Bond tradition. So in this one there's a lot of interesting imagery where first he falls into a river. You have to watch the movie. This actually connects with what happens in the movie, but he gets immersed in the water, which there's people on these sites being like, oh, that's like not that one, let's see, on like sites like this saying, oh, that's like baptism, you know um so he sinks down, and then let me just pull up the more interesting things here. You have this part where there's like a graveyard, right? So you have like death, and again, this is like a movie about resurrection. And when is the resurrection when is the resurrection going to happen? Well, we know that some people have already been resurrected, but like the main resurrection is going to happen at the second coming. So you have these crosses, you have these knives that are falling out of the sky. I can't actually play it because I don't want to get like a strike or anything like that. Um, and then later on, you have this very interesting part here where you have these red dragons. Now, because there's a part of the movie where he's in China, I think he's in Shanghai, I can't remember. But you have like these Chinese like red dragons. And, I should have pulled this up before I started this, but that makes you think of Revelation 12. Okay, so John sees the imminent apostasy of the church. So, like after Christ's death. He also sees the war in heaven in the beginning when Satan was cast down from Skyfall, right? He sees the continuation of that war on earth. Now, an interesting thing is that in this chapter, you have Satan referred to as a great red dragon, and how in the pre-existence he with his tail he drew a third part of the stars of heaven. So Satan and his followers, they were cast down to earth, right? They fell from the sky, so to speak. And then it talks about the war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought against his angels. They were cast out. And then the dragon on earth, when the woman in this chapter, she was pregnant, which is the church, and she was about to give birth to the man-child, which represents Christ and his literal kingdom, the kingdom that he's supposed to have over the earth. And the dragon was there ready to eat it up, but God saved the church and the child, which represents the apostasy that happened. The church was taken away from the earth, but now, in the last days, it's back. It's come out of obscurity, it's come out of the wilderness, and it's here to stay. So if you couple that with Luke 21, Matthew 24, and then of course this one, Revelation 12, you can see probably some of the intentional symbolism here, that you have these red dragons, right? And then later, there's more crosses and there's skulls and stuff like that. Later on, it has this where you have like these what look kind of like meteors. Like it's artistic in style, so it's not like actually meteors, but like so you'll have to like just go watch this video. But you have all these like meteors and stuff coming out of the sky, and hitting this graveyard. This is Skyfall back here. Like in the movie, Skyfall is the name of James Bond's like parents' estate. Their property was called Skyfall. But anyway, you have this like, again, you have like the sky falling. You have meteors coming down, and it's all red, and it looks like it's like destruction and fire and stuff like that. There's a little bit more to this video, but it kind of goes beyond the scope of my channel. So just a fun thing to kind of look at. I do think that the powers that be, I really do think that they're aware of the time that we're in. I can show more evidence of that in the future, but they know it, we know it. Yeah, it is the end. The end is coming. We are almost there. And the sky is going to fall. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Again, don't take it too seriously, but just, if anything, just be aware that I think that they know, and it's just kind of interesting to see it play out in movies in this way. If you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe, like this video if you liked it, hit the notification bell, make sure to share it, and then leave your comments, and I'll talk to you guys later.